Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we're so excited that you're here on Earth Day week, Earth month, Earth week.
It is Earth month.
Couple
It
days
is also
after.
the day after Earth
Yeah.
Day. And this is your friendly reminder to live with the land or we're all going to die.
Good tip.
Yeah, good tip.
Safety
good
tip.
tip.
Very good safety tip. We like that. Yes. Another good safety tip, well, it's not a safety tip, but it's a good tip in general, is you should go to chalkwalk.org/dapsmagic and join our team or support it ASAP. We need more people on our team. We need more fundraising. And if you've already done one or both, encourage your friends and family to. Right?
Agreed.
Any reasons why, Katie?
Chalk is very important, not only to Orange County, but to families in a lot of different places. And it is a hospital that is full of really wonderful people that want to help.
And if you have more reasons why you should join our Chalk Walk team, let us know in the comments, because that would be fantastic as well. But go and join our team, and we're going to have a fantastic time walking through the parks on July 21st. Bright and early.
Very early.
Yes. This was not so bright and early. In fact, it was much later. Taylor Swift released a album this last week.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it was at midnight on the East Coast. So that's a little bit late for some people, I guess.
It was 9 o'clock for us, thank goodness.
That's true.
Well, the first part was 9 o'clock for us.
And obviously the whole world exploded because, when something like that happens, I don't know what actually happens. But what does happen is Pixar decides, hey, we're going to make our own versions of the Taylor Swift songs in their style, I guess you could say. So, Katie, you've got all of them. Why don't you go through a few of your favorites?
Ooh, a few of my favorites.
Yes, just pick a couple of them.
If it'll load.
And then describe what they are.
I love Down Bad. It's Sadness from Inside Out. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Love of My Life with Carl and Ellie. And then I Can Do It with a Broken Heart with just Carl. That is sick. That is deranged. How dare you post that?
I think it was brilliant.
Also, Florida with the sunny Florida. Knick-knack. Great. Phenomenal. No notes. I do love, though, the amount that brands have recognized of this isn't promo for Taylor Swift. This is us using Taylor Swift to
promote ourselves.
Us.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Somebody said, oh, Taylor Swift's getting all this free promo. I'm like, the promo's not for her, babe.
I mean, she's getting something because people are like, oh, what is this from if you're not in that world?
Sure.
But it definitely is a back and forth win for everybody because it does benefit the brands that are diving into this because her marketing apparatus is massive. And it'll be very interesting to see what the runway, I guess, is for this. Like, is this one of those things that keeps getting more momentum as it moves on, or is it a thing that people just move on and then it comes back? And it'll be very interesting.
I don't know, because Disney did do a Midnight's track list for, like, they recreated the cover of Midnight's with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And they renamed all the songs that were Mickey Mouse inspired. So I'm like, this is now showing a trend that Disney is participating in. I also feel like when you're Disney and Taylor Swift puts out a song called But Daddy, I Love Him.
That just has to happen.
Like it.
Yeah.
Also, I have this very strong feeling in my gut. Do you remember those hats they used to sell in Emporium? They were like teal and pink. And they said, But Daddy, I Love Him on them.
Oh, you think they're coming back?
I feel like in the next 6 months, they're going to be back.
Well, it'll probably take a year, but yeah. Like, maybe if they rush it really good, they could, I don't know.
Well, they already sold them. Like, and the last time they sold them was like a year ago.
Okay. Well, but you still have to get them through the whole process.
Yes.
Like, and that's the trick. That's possible, I guess.
But yeah, that's
unfortunate timing for them. It's just like, oh, a little bit too early. A little bit too late.
I've already seen my friends that are like, okay, so who still has one in their closet somewhere? Because I would like to buy it.
Huh.
I don't have it, obviously.
eBay. Do people still use eBay?
feel like somebody
Let us know in the comments. Do people still use
I feel
eBay?
like somebody was just telling me about eBay. Funny on the Taylor Swift note, somebody wanted to buy a signed CD off eBay, like a Taylor Swift Tortured Poets
That does
signed
not
CD,
sound smart.
and they spent like $300 or something.
And then it was fake.
It was not signed.
Yeah, that does not surprise me at all. And then what are you gonna do?
Like, and they tried to complain to Taylor Swift's people, but
they're like, why are you buying this on eBay?
Yeah, like,
yeah.
So that's my little.
That's a trick.
That's my little silly haha day. But also, it's been crazy to me. If you would have told me like 10 or 15 years ago, probably 10 years ago, that in the Lord's Year of 2024, nobody would have a mechanism to play CDs, but a lot of people would have a mechanism to play vinyl, I would have been confused. Like, I have my friends buying CD, and I'm like, I don't have a way to play that anywhere.
I do.
No, because you have my PlayStation. That was the only way I would have had to play a CD.
I could play it in my car.
My car does not support CDs.
Yeah, I know yours doesn't. But mine does.
I'm like, my car doesn't do CDs. My laptop doesn't have a CD-ROM anymore. I'm like...
Oh, you know what? The secondary Geeks Corner computer could play it. Down there.
Oh.
The one in the thing.
Yeah.
That would work.
But I'm like... I was just thinking about it, and I was like, that's just so crazy how, like, time is just a circle.
Which makes you think that that's what's next, because it does seem like suddenly CDs are becoming a thing again.
They are.
Which is weird, but...
And I mean, cassettes were a thing for indie bands, like...
I get the cassettes thing, though, because the cassettes have a unique sound. I mean, CDs do too. They're just not as warm. And that's what makes vinyl so great, is they have a nice warm sound to them.
Also really love... And we were just talking about this the other night, because we've been going and hitting record stores that are near us. And we got some $5 record. And I said, I know that this is probably an issue with the quality of the record itself, but I love the pops. I love the, like, that noise. And you're like, that actually just means that somebody loved it so much they played it a bunch. And I was like, that's really fun, because you're also, like, carrying on something somebody else loved. And I think that's just fun.
There you go.
That's my rant about vinyl for the day.
The rant of vinyl. The vinyl rant. Okay. That's great. All right. Let's keep moving along. This week was Earth Day. Yesterday, in fact. And there was a fun little thing that Disney put out that was different ways that solar power is used around the globe and things like that. But we thought it'd be fun to take our own spin at this, because if you look at Disney through the years, yes, they've had conservation efforts that go back to the days of Walt, but they've also had attractions that maybe don't go back to the days. I'm trying to think. I guess you could say Jungle Cruise maybe was a conservation. Yeah, we'll all the way back to the days of Walt. But we got talking about what are different attractions that really are in line with Earth Day. And what started out as a rabbit trail down EPCOT history and lore turned into so much more. But we did get to watch today Listen to the Land.
Yeah.
With the most excited narrator on the planet.
It made me realize that I think I would have I don't want to say jump off the boat. That's so dramatic. But I think I would
in trouble too.
It would have. That's why I'm like, I can't do that.
No.
But the awkwardness of just a host on the boat standing there and staring at you.
It.
And like, it was very much like she was hitting her marks. She was like, okay, so now I said this.
She also was very easy to understand.
She was.
Like, she was very articulate. And like, that part was cool.
I just don't like people looking.
And I think it was from 1990 of the video. 92. And it was from Mouse Steps, and they do fantastic videos, so you can check them out. But it was fun to see the different, I don't know, the notes that they're hitting on that are similar to what they do today. But then there's a few things that are completely different and really, I don't know, they change the feel and makes it a little bit more cohesive to me.
Yes.
In the old version, even though I like some of the things in the new version. Like, I like getting the song Listen to the Land at the beginning and the end. I liked how the laboratory continued on around the corner.
That
what kind of gets
that
lost
was
now.
really cool.
I thought the mural thing, sculpture, whatever it was, at the end, where now they have the pictures of all the people.
I was like, so how do you feel about Tomato Beret Girl? That's the mural, where the mural,
Yeah,
there's the girl in front of the tomatoes wearing a beret.
Yeah,
she's iconic. Tomato Beret Girl.
I liked the old version better.
I know.
I do think the perfect blend for me would be a mix of the old and the new. So maybe the old song with the new narration and some of the old elements of the attraction. But it got me thinking about, because you have that, you have, I mean, you could really go into Horizons, talks a little bit about that too.
The Seas with
Ellen's
friends.
energy adventure, very much about our planet. Spaceship Earth, not exactly, but kind of. I mean, it is Earth. But then it got us talking about what are the most iconic Earth attractions. And I almost think old school Kilimanjaro safaris might be the best.
Because I was about to say Kilimanjaro Safari, but when they made you feel like you had to go out and stop poachers.
Yeah, where you were a part of, because that is a thing the old script and storyline did, is it took you into the story and made it that you were a part of the solution as in an emotional way, as opposed to now it's like, oh, here's a penny if you like give a penny to conservation efforts so these animals can have a place to live. And that's fine and that's great, but it doesn't have the same emotional journey that, you know, there's poachers, they're coming to get our animal friends, and there's something much more emotionally taxing about that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the original script for Kilimanjaro was like really intense. It was Little Red, and she's a little baby elephant, and poachers were coming after her, and they were also coming after her mother.
Yep.
And like you had to go on a chase to get the poachers. And I just think
you got thrown all over the truck when you did it.
Yeah,
like that was great.
No, I think that was really might not be how some people want to spend a Disney World vacation, of being confronted with the facts of poaching.
The reality of,
but I think
it is the reality. It's also the reality of a safari.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what safaris were for the longest time, was going after animals. And it's not until recent years where it's going after them with cameras and video cameras and iPhones and stuff like that. But no, I think that one's pretty high up. I actually was thinking Kali River Rapids.
I've never done it.
Oh, it's 2 minutes of nothing.
An adventure.
It's not my favorite attraction. It's not super exciting. I think it's fun. It's funny, actually.
I really enjoy the Seas with Nemo and Friends, not for the attraction itself. The attraction's fine, but I love the after portion, like the seas, the living seas. I think it's super fun. I think there's a lot of really cool things, and again, it touches on how you can help the ocean, how you can help preserve that. I really like it. When I think about the seas, it makes me happy.
I agree. Do you have a favorite animal there?
In the seas? Don't they have manatees there? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think those are in that walkway, aren't they?
I think they have manatees.
Okay. I can't remember.
Because I really like manatees.
I thought the manatees were out when you're walking on that trail. And it's the above and below or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while.
I don't know. Do you have a favorite animal on the safari?
Probably.
I like the okapi.
I think I would go with probably either the lion or the elephants.
That's fair.
Like it's pretty basic, but I enjoy both of them. And
the basics are basic for a reason. Like, that's a good choice.
And you just never see the male lion. Like, when you see the male lion, that's like a good day. That is a very good day.
It's a good trip.
But yeah, it's interesting how I feel like in the 80s and 90s, there was very much let's tell the emotional story of how we can conserve the planet and protect and do all of those things. Giraffes, I'm seeing in the chat, also very fun to see, especially when they're running.
It was also the era of Captain Planet.
And I think we need that back.
Yeah.
Because I do think there needs to be an emotional, like, I like things, whether it's a movie, an attraction, whatever. I want them to take us on emotional journeys, not just a sit there and be like, okay, I'm passively amused. I want something that's like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is bad. And like takes you up and down. And even at the risk of making you a little bit emotionally drained because of it, because I just think then you're that much more connected to the story that's being told, and it's going to help you be spurred on to action more. And I think that's a really great thing that they can do. And I think that's one of the great successes with Disney Nature too, which wasn't even on the list for tonight. But when you think of Disney Nature, quite often it does what the old True Life Adventures did. And it's like, oh, you really become attached to whatever the focal character or focal animal is of whatever story they're telling. And I really like that they personify them in that way and make you feel something, because then you do want to go out and protect them.
Yeah. Some of that animal stuff's really hard for me to watch because like I know it's a reality, but the idea of animals getting hurt makes me cry.
Don't grow up in the Midwest.
Yeah, I'm aware. That's why I've lived in Southern California forever.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, I would love to see more of those kinds of emotional journeys being told on those attractions. And I'd love to see more of them in the future too. And even though it's fiction, I actually think Pandora does a really good job of telling that story of conservation and protecting things. And that is, I think, a strength of the Avatar movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
And who doesn't like to go on a boat through?
That's what the Avatar experience will be in California.
The boat?
Conservation.
Oh, conservation. I hope so. That'd be good. I think that'd be very good. You have any other favorites from conservation? Okay. And would you pick Listen to the Land or Living with the Land? Because I said what I would pick.
Listen
and I didn't
to the
know
Land, but without a narrator. Without a live narrator.
Okay, so basically what I said.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you like to see the current version get like a 3.0?
Yes.
Since they're redoing everything in Epcot anyway, it seems like.
Yes.
Okay.
I would love it.
And what would you like to see it have happen?
I would love to see more of the lab work because
I thought you were going to say you wanted to see the story of the fish so that you could.
So I could feel bad when I eat sushi. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
No, I would really love to see more of the lab just because I think that was one of the most fascinating parts about Listen to the Land. I also thought it was very funny just how much the resort has grown in general. Was in Listen to the Land, they said these crops supply ingredients to tens of restaurants in the resort. I said, oh baby, tens.
We're really
it's now been 30 years since that video and there's a little bit more than tens of restaurants.
Yes.
But I don't know. I really liked seeing how it's grown, but there was also definitely stuff where I was like, oh, whenever there's actually lab scientists in Living with the Land, I'm always like, oh my god,
what are they doing now?
Like, I want to see what they're doing. So
yeah. And I like that they're adding like the jingle or the Christmas lights in the winter
I
too.
love
Like
that.
I think it's just a double win. But yeah, I think it'd be cool to see it updated. Maybe not completely transformed, but maybe just enhanced a little bit.
Sure.
Like especially the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Although I do like the hokiness of it. I don't know. just do what you're gonna do. It'll be great. All right. It is that wonderful time of week where we take a look at what's going on in the life of our good friend Indiana. And this week he's still in the cone of shame.
For another week.
It's gonna be great. If he doesn't destroy everything.
Our knees.
Here's him today.
So if you remember last week's Indie Cam, that cone was clean. It was
Clear.
not damaged. It was clear. He is so unbothered by the cone.
He doesn't care. Like everybody else cares, but he doesn't care. He's just like, oh, okay, it's in the way. I'll push it out of the way. I'll squeeze it. I'll knock it against stuff.
He cracked it today, jumping into my car because he goes in through the lift gate, and he didn't wait for the lift gate to come all the way up, and so he just
bam,
like
it was good.
Went right into it. The kid's insane.
He is not upset at all by it. It's great. Like most dogs are trying to get it off constantly, and he's just like, okay, I guess I'm wearing this thing now. It's fine, and he just doesn't care.
That's because we've put him in like clothes and bandanas and stuff like that. So I think that in his head, he's like, oh, this is just a weird thing that my parents are doing. I don't think he's associating it with.
It's a very weird thing. Anyway, we got dates today for the 2024 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival, which is the longest named thing I think Disney's ever done.
I think so too.
But I think that every year as I'm typing it out, I'm like, this is forever long.
But the dates are getting shorter.
The dates are getting more I'm going to call them pre-pandemic. And so we now know that from August 29th through November 23rd, you can experience the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival. But it's not just food and wine. It's also the Eat to the Beat concerts. You're going to have the Communicore Hall, whatever they end up doing there. They didn't exactly tell us yet, but they said, keep your eyes open. That's coming. And there's the cheese walk, where you go around and you try different cheeses.
Which is like heaven.
It's like the cookie walk, but it's cheeses. It's got a funny name, but I don't remember right now.
Cheese walk is what it should be.
I think everybody should just go and do the cheese walk because that sounds fun. And then it also has merchandise. And what I was very happy to see with the merchandise this year is there is Figment very prominently placed merchandise. One looked like it was a Loungefly backpack or a Loungefly type backpack. There was another looked like either a tumbler or a hot coffee.
Figment, girls, pack it up. We won.
But we need more Figment. We need people to go buy more Figment because then they'll make more Figment, which means that we get more Figment. And that's just a good thing every way you can possibly imagine it.
I love Figment. Figment's just a guy. He's just a dude.
He's the best.
I just love him.
He is one of my favorite Disney characters. In fact, how do I do this? He's right there.
He's the first original
right over my shoulder.
Original Disney character created for theme parks in 30 years. I love him.
No, he's fantastic. And I think we have another one. Oh, over there.
I was like,
we have him on the wall in a couple places.
Yeah.
We need more Figment artwork, honestly. We should just have a whole wall of Figment art. I love DuckTales and Mickey and all these other things. I don't know. Maybe another wall of all Figment. Like, that'd be fun. But Food and Wine Festival. And maybe one day we will get a new Figment ride. Maybe we will find out at D23. Wouldn't that be amazing if at D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan event, this August, on, Saturday night, if Josh D'Amaro finishes the presentation, he's like, oh, there's one more thing. And then they start playing one little spark and out hops the big Figment meet and greet character. And they're like, this is the year that we are announcing that in 10 years or whatever, that we are announcing Figment 3.0.
So
how is that for a dream?
I can do
some imagination, huh?
I will be in that room.
Yes.
What I am gonna Scout's honor promise to right now is that if we get a Figment announcement, I will record my reaction.
Oh, that's good. That'd be good. That'd be very fun.
That is only if we get Figment or Disneyland Tomorrowland.
So here's my question.
I will film either of those reactions if we get either of those things.
This actually brings up an interesting question. So let's say there's a Figment announcement and a Tomorrowland announcement for Disneyland.
Yeah.
How would you feel if one day Figment was in more than just Epcot? I don't actually have a thought on this yet. It just popped into my head as like, what if they made Figment 3.0 over here and then there's like a Figment show at...
I don't know that I would want that. Because
Discoveryland at Disneyland Paris.
I'm very big about keeping things unique to certain parks.
I agree.
And so I think Figment should stay in EPCOT. I think Figment is EPCOT. I think EPCOT is Figment.
I agree.
And I would feel like I'm just imagining, say you're walking around, like I can't even imagine a place where Figment would go in Disneyland.
I mean, it'd probably be like Tomorrowland or something.
Yeah,
Like
but
that's the
that
only
is
place
such
it would
a
remotely.
jarring like image in my head.
I could see a show. I couldn't see a full attraction. Like maybe, I don't know.
That's just very jarring to me. I would really love
A Circle Vision Figment show.
Now, why hasn't Epcot done a Circle Vision show with Figment?
I don't know.
Because imagine like Canada,
That would be fun.
but Figment shows up.
I would like that.
Imagine
I would be okay.
reflections of China, but Figment shows up.
That might get a little bit too much.
Imagine.
I was just thinking one, not like multiple.
No,
and I don't want it to replace the attraction.
I don't want him to like take over the whole attraction. I want him to just show up.
Oh, he could be like a little like Easter egg that you don't even notice. Most people don't even notice. Or a Carousel of Progress Figment show. See, that could work.
I mean, I would love for something.
And then he could have a central role.
I would love for something to happen in Disneyland Interventions.
Yeah, I think that would be a wonderful announcement.
I think we would all be happy. Here's a question that you don't have to answer if you know the answer, but I'm pondering out loud. Do you think that the Interventions building
that is true.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Interventions building still has the capacity to spin?
I bet you could do some work and it could.
I was like, 'cause it just hasn't spun in like 10 years,
Forever.
15 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. I bet it's not impossible. Like, I know there'd have to be some changes for sure, because I can think of a couple things that would stop it. But
yeah,
I bet it would work. It'd be a bit of work, but you could do it.
Do you also think that was it Martin Short? No. Who voiced that animatronic?
Nathan Lane
Nathan
Tomorrow.
Lane.
Oh, there you go.
Do you think that he's still there somewhere?
It's very possible.
Just like hanging out.
Yeah, he just runs around. It's fine.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, he's good. All right. Before we ran out of time, though, what would you like to see for Figment Attraction 3.0? Because we got off track there.
I would like to take the smelly part out for sure.
Okay.
I don't want any more smelly part. I also would honestly, I have one ask, and that's Dreamfinder. I am so sorry to I can't remember.
Can you tell me what you want the theme to be, though? Like, I want to, because those are details, and I would rather know, like, what's the...
I want it to be an appreciation of imagination, much like the first iteration of the attraction, because currently the attraction is I learned to love imagination, but it is not a positive thing in the beginning. I love when Figment is loved and appreciated the entire time. So
I agree with that.
I would love for it to be
a celebration of imagination.
A celebration and appreciation. This is what we can do when imagination is limitless, instead of, oh my God, it's you just said I'm her dream. I would prefer it to be a sky is the limit type attraction instead of like what they try to do in the end. It's all about
possibilities as opposed to working up to that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's, I don't know exactly how you do that, but I think there's, with the different storytelling devices and technologies and magic that they have today, I think you can do just about anything.
Well, and the end room is imagination is a blast and it's so fun. And these are all these things that you can do and think of and have fun with. But I would love for the entire attraction to have this level of like whimsy and fun. And like you walk away humming one little spark and you're like, wow, that was really fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe not as focused on story, but more focused on inspiration.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. That is, hopefully somebody else likes those kind of ideas too.
Yeah. I would really, really love, I think that Dreamfinder is very important to Figment.
I do too. I think it's also good to have a balanced buddyship there. That
well, because they made, blanking on his name, but they made him the foil to Figment. And I think Figment needs a companion, not a foil.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. All right, welcome to Geeks Corner Plus. It is our overtime time. If you have any comments or questions you'd like us to respond to, let us know in the chat, and we will keep our eyes on them for the next few minutes. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure to check out the newest Daps Magic, the podcast, because it is up, and you can listen to it anywhere that podcasts are listenable. Right? Yeah, that's
with
right.
your ears.
With your ears, but not with your eyes, because it doesn't have video. It's just an audio podcast.
Well, now that we're in Geeks Corner Plus, what's everybody's favorite Taylor Swift song off the Tortured Poets Department? And did you like the Tortured Poets Department or the Tortured Poets Department, the anthology, better? I know your answer. That's not him going because I turned this into a Taylor Swift show.
I know. I was reading the comment. So.
Yeah. I just want to know what everybody's favorite song is, because my favorite song, much like Itzy, is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, because it is very pop girly and also very relatable. I do cry a lot, but I'm so productive. It is an art.
There you go.
Fortnite is a great song. Have you seen the music video? What's yours?
I don't know.
Oh.
It changes.
It changes?
I don't know.
I didn't even know that you had enough to have it change.
I don't know. I don't actually know what my favorite is right now.
Interesting. But I also like How Did It End?
Yeah. Okay.
But that's my I am personally hoping we see an addition of some kind to the Eras tour. Will we? I don't know, but I think that would be really fun.
Okay. That's good. All right, we are running out of time because we have a busy couple of days coming up. So make sure to follow along on all of our social medias and YouTube channel. But Katie, what should people do right now?
Just go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Subscribe to our mailing list and find our Patreon.
And as I said a minute ago, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We just posted all of the Fat Cat Swinger sets from Sunday, which was amazing. And you don't want to miss any of that. And then we have more videos coming in the next couple of days as soon as we can possibly get them filmed and uploaded, but you won't want to miss any of those either. And did you mention to go over to Patreon, where we have the pre-show for this as well, which we have a lot of fun talking about things you don't talk about here. And so join us. We do that every week at 8:00 p.m. right before the show. It's called Behind the Scenes. You don't want to miss it. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you round the corner.
Bye.